it's time for Ghost and Crendor.
Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the Crendor in the morning. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hey!
I just want to point out
Uh-huh.
that we have been very busy, and
Yes.
we have missed a lot of stuff.
We
Crendor.
have missed a lot of stuff.
We missed a lot. We missed too much.
February is also a short month.
We got all caught up on our high horse of being internet famous at PAX, thinking
Very
we were so
internet
cool
famous.
that we
kind
didn't
of.
deliver
Not
what the
really.
people want.
Wait, what did they want?
I assume more of us, more of
yeah.
our fame.
Just want to hear us talk about things.
Look. Sometimes that's all I want. Sometimes I look at my podcast list and I'm like, there ain't nothing here.
I know.
There ain't nothing. I get depressed. So I understand the need for podcasts. That's why we're doing it. That's why it's
Yeah.
happening. And I want to start off by letting you all know Coca-Cola life.
What?
Now you might say, what the hell's that, Jesse? Why?
What the hell is that,
Thank you.
Jesse?
Thank you. So I was at the grocery store and I saw Coke in a green bottle.
Uh-huh.
And it says Coca-Cola Life is the name of this drink.
Coca-Cola Life.
Coca-Cola Life is basically Mexican Coke, but not only does it have cane sugar, it also has stevia in it.
What?
Stevia is just extra sweetener. So basically they made Mexican Coke, threw in even more sweetener, and called it Coca-Cola Life.
What the? But, like, isn't stevia, like, a weird sweetener? It's not even, like, real
Yes,
sugar?
yes. So I have yet to taste this. I got it just for this show.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to let you know how I just opened it up
man.
before we started. I'm going to let you know how it tastes.
Okay.
So it's in a bottle. It looks like it would be a Mexican Coke. But again, it's green.
Yeah. I see
It's
it.
green.
Just Google Coca-Cola Life. You'll see it.
Okay.
Okay.
First things first.
I'm the
It
realist.
is very, very, like, artificially sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you know how if you take fake sweeteners and put them in your coffee or in your teas or whatever,
Yeah.
you can taste sort of the chemicaliness of it?
Yeah.
That's what this tastes like. Mexican Coke just has sugarcane in it, and this has that too, but then I guess they added more sweetener?
Yeah, why do they need more?
It says it's a reduced calorie soda. Or cola, sorry. 35% fewer calories than regular Coke.
Did they
I would rather just have regular Mexican Coke than this.
did they use the sweetener to make it seem like there's less calories in it? I feel like that's why they did it.
I imagine so. It's not very good.
Yeah, like
I got 5 more of these upstairs.
I wouldn't get it because I hate those like fake sweeteners. Like I'd rather just have real sugar. Like I don't care.
Yeah, it's not very good. Like but what is stevia? Exactly. What is that?
That's a good question.
What is stevia?
Stevia.
What is it really? I'm sure that if we click stevia, we'll get like a website for it.
we
Stevia
go. Live science.
is a sweetener and sugar substitute extracted from leaves of the plant Stevia ribaudiana. So it has up to 150 times the sweetness of sugar. Oh, no wonder that's what it tastes
God.
like. No wonder that's what it tastes like. Holy crap.
Sweet baby.
It has like a
Jimmy's
super sweet
cricket.
aftertaste, like an unnecessarily super sweet
Yeah.
aftertaste.
Does it taste like Diet Coke?
No, it doesn't taste like Diet Coke. It tastes like someone took Coke and then added a weird sweetener to it.
Oh.
Like, yeah. Not a big fan. Sorry, Coke.
There are some health concerns surrounding the stevia plant. Stevia may cause low blood pressure, which could be a concern to some
Great.
taking blood pressure medications.
Great.
May also interact with antifungals, anti-inflammatories, antimicrobials.
I'm on all of those.
Antivirals, antisuppressants, calcium blockers, cholesterol-lowering drugs, drugs that increase urination, fertility agents, and other medications. Talk with your doctor before taking stevia. Well,
Stevia's taste has slower onset and longer duration than that of sugar. That explains why I taste it way after. Like, I still taste it.
yeah. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
it still is. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure that it's good, but I like how they just call it Coca-Cola Life and made it green, so you think it's healthy. One of my
Yeah.
favorite tricks was taking classes about like I'm not sure what you would call that, about like marketing
Yeah, marketing.
and how if you just make it green, people automatically assume it's healthy.
Well, yeah, they do a lot of that. They make it green, they make it all natural, quote. Pretty much that means nothing. Like, all natural just means...
But I mean, like, just the color green is associated with health.
Yeah.
Like, if someone has a picture and you give it a green background, people will assume it's healthier, whatever
well, it's
it
like
is.
the earth or
then-
plants and...
Yeah. And red is like a desire color, which is why
Yeah.
the background of most McDonald's things were red for a while.
Yeah, and then
And-
black is like rich. That's
Is
what
it?
I've... Yeah, like very powerful and rich. That's why it's like a lot of like business suits and like black cars or like rich people driving around. That's what I've
guess
always
that's
heard
true.
from that. And
Yeah, and so there's all the different colors mean like marketing means something, and you can manipulate people that way.
yeah,
so,
or like red. It's like stop signs. That's why they're red, because it like alerts you. But like you can use that marketing wise too. Like put it on a sign, like a red sign, so people stop and look at it.
yeah, that's why Coca-Cola was red for. Now I have a green Coca-Cola bottle in front of
Yeah.
me, Coca-Cola Life, and it is.
Oh my
taking
god!
mine because it is awful.
There's a
Just
Coca-Cola
awful.
Life commercial from Argentina.
Of course there is.
What? And
Bueno, Coca-Cola Life-O. My
just-
apologies, Argentina.
they're just they're drinking Coca-Cola Life while their kid is born, and while they're doing it, and
What?
and then some guy, he's drinking the Coca-Cola Life, and they're pregnant again, and he's like, "Oh my God, Coca-Cola
Is
Life."
Coca-Cola Life, is it giving me the power to just impregnate people? If a woman comes near me, is she automatically pregnant when I drink this? Because I don't want that. Spoiler, not out to have kids.
I think
Coca-Cola
so.
Life. Am I more fertile now that I have Coca-Cola Life in me?
I'm gonna have to just say yes. I think they have some sort of
Is that what that ad said?
fertility
Wow,
drug.
stevia. I'm feeling it. I feel it. I feel it right now.
That's that extra
Ladies,
sweetness
watch
they
out.
got in there.
That well. Speaking of watching out and life, hold on. I'm trying to put this together. I'm trying to get this together. Speaking of Coke, it goes good on ice, right?
Yeah.
And someone almost got thrown in jail for life because his name had ice in it. We missed Vanilla Ice getting charged with burglary in South Florida, Crendor.
Oh my God. How did
Vanilla
we
Ice
miss
was
that?
arrested on February 18th, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about it.
God.
We missed everything. He was arrested, and I didn't even know that his real name was Robert Van Winkle.
Oh yeah, I
Vanilla
knew that.
Ice's name is Robert Van Winkle. He's basically a Grimm's fairy tale.
Yeah, I knew that. He's Rob Van Winkle.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
He's 47 years old, too. Vanilla Ice is 47?
Well, I didn't know that.
My
He's
God.
an old man. He's like middle aged.
That is crazy. I didn't know. Vanilla Ice was almost 50. He looks pretty good for a 50-year-old.
Oh my God.
So the story was that he stole a pool heater, bicycles, and other equipment.
Oh.
Because I guess he has a moving company, or he works for a moving company. I don't know. But then he said, like, it was all a mistake. And I don't know how the story ended,
It's
but
a
I would just like to
mistake.
imagine Vanilla Ice was thrown in jail. That's what I'm going to say the story ended.
Why do everybody always says it was a mistake? It's like,
I didn't steal those
it's just-
things. I'm gonna
showed
look this
up there.
Vanilla Ice. What happened to Vanilla Ice on the internet? Vanilla Ice, not ice cream, not Ice JoJo. What the hell's Vanilla Ice JoJo?
Vanilla Ice JoJo?
Who the hell's that?
I think they're a traitor.
This is like, who is this? This is like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Is this an anime?
Oh, the JoJo anime thing? I've heard of that.
Vanilla Ice is the last vampire created by Dio, the deadliest of his minions.
What?
I don't even. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with you, anime. You're stupid. You're stupid, anime. Vanilla Ice jail.
Okay.
Vanilla Ice on the 19th was released from custody. Vanilla Ice released from Florida jail. Vanilla Ice released from Florida jail. What about what? Vanilla Ice released from Florida jail after arrest on battery charges. 2008. Vanilla Ice, why are you in jail all the time?
God, Vanilla Ice. Maybe you need some, you need to go over like Stevia Ice now.
Stevie on ice. It was a misunderstanding and totally blown out of proportion. That's what he said.
Well,
Sure. All right, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
whatever.
super blown out of proportion.
Good to know that that's how far that story went. No one is covering it now. So really, we've covered everything else everyone else has. Great. Wow, we're just keeping up with the news at this point.
Yeah, we're just keeping up.
We left. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know what you expect from us at this point. Nothing changed. Crendor, what'd you do? What'd you do since the last podcast? Anything? Because I didn't do jack.
Last one, I went to the grocery store. I got coffee at places like Starbucks.
Yeah.
I went to IKEA once. I
Wow.
made some videos. I played some video games. I looked at the internet.
Wow.
And did I do anything else?
I don't think I did anything. I don't think I did anything at all.
I feel like there's
I'm trying to think of crazy fun things that happened. Wacky adventures.
Yeah, I saw the 50 Shades of Grey.
What? Why didn't you say anything?
I
We could have been
forgot.
talking about that. What? Okay, I have not seen it. Tell me. You have to tell me.
Okay, so as a person who has not read the book and knew nothing about it, I was like, all right.
Did it turn you on? Were you aroused by this movie?
I was not aroused.
Okay.
However, I mean, it's like the scenes, like it's actually for the most part.
Okay. From
All
the
right.
beginning.
From the
Tell us
beginning.
about this movie. From the beginning. Don't try to give me the scene. Just from the beginning.
From the beginning, there's the girl. I don't know. Do you know anything about it? Like, have you read?
I think a Fan Friday a while ago, I read the first few pages of 50 Shades of Grey. So I know it literally starts out with her being like, my friend is so beautiful, and she just gets to lay in bed all day and be sick, and I've got to go drive to this job interview in my brand new car, and then it's 2 pages describing the car, which I'm pretty sure is an advertisement, and then it's like, man, that girl, she's so lucky, she gets to stay at home, and I've got to go to this interview, and now I got to go meet this guy, and my life is horrible, and I'm going to go interview him, and then we'll see what happens, right? Like, that's that.
Well, in that case, the movie's a lot better because it got super Hollywooded up. First, it starts off where she's just like with that friend, and she's just like, you gotta take this interview for me, and she's like, oh my god, I don't wanna, and she's like, please, and she's like, fine, and she goes to Gray Enterprises. I don't know.
By the way,
what
if that was ever the name of a company, it would not be the name of a company. The company would have gone bankrupt. No one would invest in Gray Enterprise.
That just sounded like, some Gray Enterprises are struggling again. Very gray.
Yeah, like I imagine this in the news. Tonight, another person jumped off the Gray Enterprise building. The most depressing workplace in the world.
And like, so she walks in there, right? But like, you still don't know what they do there. And then all these people work for them.
They do it there. It's a super sexy place, man.
But I don't know, like, but even the people working for him, they're just like, greetings, you are here to see Mr. Gray. And she's like, oh yeah, I am. Like, she's the stereotypical like plain girl that's like not super model hot, but not like ugly. She's just, normal. And so she goes there and she gets really intimidated by Mr. Gray, who's just like, I'm 27 years old and I'm a billionaire. And then he's like, yo,
he's 27 in this?
He's 27 in this.
Is he supposed to be 27? What is he in the books?
I don't know.
I would hope in the books he was like 50.
He might be. Like, it might just be the Hollywood thing again, where like she's 22 and he's 27, just to like not offend people.
Make it
that
creepy.
Are like, yeah, creepy.
I'd like if he was just like a 50-year-old man, like, I have fetishes. Okay,
so she's like, all right, she gets really intimidated, and she's just like, answer my questions, please. And he's like, I'd like to ask more about you and not me. And then she's like, oh, and
that's all it takes. Christian Grey tells us a lot of things about talking to women.
Yeah.
All it takes is not talking about yourself. I have a hard problem doing that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
All you have to do is shut up and be like, tell me more about yourself. I can't do that. I have a problem.
Not the Jesse way.
Nope. I'm like, you know what I did today? What'd you do today? So many things. Let me tell you.
That Coca-Cola life.
I had Coca-Cola Life. Have you ever had Coca? No, Jesse, I haven't had Coca-Cola Life. It's so good. And that it is the worst fucking drink I've ever had. Can I just tell you about it?
So yeah, that happens. And then they go she goes back to her friend and she's like, I didn't get all the interview questions, but she's like, oh my God, he emailed me the answers to all the questions. And she was like, wow. And she's like, man, what a great guy. He's so amazing. And then she ends up going on like a second date with him because he's like, I enjoyed you. I'd like to meet up with you and ask you more questions about
Why did you
yourself.
pick her?
I don't know.
I'm curious about this whole plot in this movie. Because I imagine Christian Grey has a lot of that girls.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Like, he probably has 4 or 5 of that girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to show you my dungeon. She's like, is it only me you're going to spend time with? And he's like, yeah, sure, yep.
Well, they talk more about that. At least, okay. Anyway, then he keeps calling her and stuff, and he's like, I'd like to hang out with you. And she's like, I don't know. And then her friend's just like, do it. And then, God, what does she do? She works at a
How long are we into this movie right now, by the way?
Probably like 15 minutes.
Oh my God, no one's done it yet? That's boring.
Yeah, no one's done it yet. So,
okay.
She works at a hardware store.
Of course she does.
And she's
oh
like,
my God, I saw a scene from the movie where it's her literally just like balling yarn for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Or no, it's
I saw a scene online that was just like her like balling yarn. I was like, this is the stupidest.
It's
epic
probably
thing.
rope, because she like
rope. Whatever.
Like, he shows up at the hardware store, right? And she has like 3 guys that are hitting on her that she doesn't realize. And one of them's the hardware store guy, and he's just like, yo, like, is he gonna bother you? And she's like, no, he just wants to buy things. And he buys like cable ties and rope and whatever. And she's like, are you gonna murder someone? And he's like, no, that is not my taste. And it's just like,
what?
Yeah, he's just like, no, I do not do that. And she's like, whoa. It's just, the dialogue is
Here's
terrible.
the thing. I don't care if he says he doesn't do that. If you go buy cable ties and rope and shit at a hardware store, you are a murderer.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
Definite murder.
You are going to murder someone tonight.
Like, it would just be like, oh my God, he's so dreamy. He's buying all these cable ties and rope. It's like,
I would call the cops on that man the moment he left the store. I'd get his license plate number and be like, you should check his trunk. There's going to be a shovel and some bags back there because he's going to find a body.
Yep. Yeah, so that happens. And then she has this friend, Jose, and she's like, I'm about to graduate from college. And he's like, yo, I'll help you out with your homework and stuff. And she's like, you're Jose, you're a great friend. And he's just like, yeah, maybe we can like get dinner and stuff. And she's like, no, that's fine. You know, Jose's just like, come on.
Oh, Jose. He's the Keebler elf from our elf story.
Yeah, he's the Keebler elf. Exactly.
He's the Keebler elf. I like how we can relate every one of these books / movies to our elf story. He's the Keebler elf.
And Christian Grey is the dark elf.
High elf. Oh, no, he's the high elf.
Oh, he's the high elf. Who's
Yeah.
the dark elf?
The dark elf is the guy who would be in the next book, who's like worse than Christian Grey.
Oh, he's the shitty boss.
He's like, my autoerotic asphyxiation problem. I want you to help strangle me. That's the dark elf character. He's in the next book. He's like, I swear to God, I just want to choke you while we do it.
Yo.
Yep.
So yeah, that happens. And then she goes to a bar and she gets really drunk, right? And she starts texting him and like calling him and be like, you know what, I like you, but I don't know about you. And then he's like, where are you? I will come pick you up. And then Jose starts
Does he go? Wait, whoa. Christian Grey
Yeah.
drives out of his way to go pick up a drunk girl.
No, he takes the chopper.
Shut up.
Yeah, he takes the chopper.
Be still my heart. He's already won me over.
Yeah, he's like, or no, he was in the hotel. He took the chopper to the hotel, and then he took one of his cars from the hotel.
Did they show all of it? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
they like
so
showed.
sexy.
They
Like,
showed like all of it.
slow-mo walk out of the hotel, or the helicopter into the hotel kind of thing.
No, but after he picks her up, he takes her back to his hotel in the chopper. They show all that.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
then Jose tries to hit on her. He's just like, yo, come on, just one kiss. And she's like, Jose, I don't see you that way. And he's just like, come on, please. And then she's like, no, wow. And then Christian Grey comes in. He's like, yo, she said no. And he like shoves him off. And that's when he takes her back to the hotel.
And then they do it then?
No, he takes
What?
off her clothes, puts her in
Okay.
bed, feeds her toast,
What?
and she wakes
Is she
up.
naked, though? Is she
She
naked
wakes
at this
up
point?
in new clothes, and she's like, wait, did we do it? And he's like, no, I do not sleep with women. And then she's like,
Wait,
whoa,
what?
Yeah, that's what I was like, what? And he's like, I do not sleep with women. I have different tastes. And then he like goes up to her and like bites a piece of her toast.
What?
Yeah. And then he's like, keep eating. You will need it to get over your hangover. And then she's like, oh, okay. And
I like
she's like,
how he's basically a horrifying robot.
he is. He talks like a robot.
I am a robot.
Like I was
I'm
like,
trying to determine love.
I was trying to figure out if she wrote him like a robot in the book, because he's legit like a robot in this movie.
Okay, anyway, so continue. You're
So-
doing us a service because many of us will never see this film.
Yeah.
Ever.
So, okay. Then she's like, so you saw me naked? And he's like, of course, you threw up on your clothes and I had to take you out of them and put you in new clothes. And then she's
Of
like,
course.
oh. And then he's like, my driver has went out and bought you some more clothes for things. And she's like, oh, wow. And
So all right. So another tip:
Yeah.
buy things for women; they will fall in love with you.
yeah.
Great. Okay.
So then after that, she goes back to her apartment or whatever, and then turns out Christian Grey's like douchey brother guy who's just like, yeah, party man. He gets it on with her like roommate. And
Of course.
They walk in, taking her home, and it's the roommate and his brother like doing it, and they're just like, oh my god.
Oh, did we get to see anything?
You do get to see some things.
Like what? Was there some nip, some bush? What are we talking about, Crendor?
Well, she was just for that scene, it was just her in lingerie thing. And
So far, this is the most unerotic movie.
Yeah,
How
like-
far are we into this movie? Are we an hour in?
I'd say half an hour.
Wow, all this stuff happened in half an hour?
Yeah.
Holy shit, okay.
Yeah, there's no like character build up. It's just like boom, you're in.
This is half an hour of movie,
Yeah.
and we have already established a strong relationship.
I would
between
also
these
say a
characters.
solid 10 minutes of it is just like driving scenes and like phone calls and text messages.
Gotta pad out that tension. Are they?
Yeah.
Will they? Won't they do it?
Yeah. And so then she's like, "Why don't you come back
Oh,
to
wait, hold on.
Okay.
Have we seen any wiener yet?
I think you may have seen the brothers wiener, but I'm not
Okay.
positive.
Okay, that's something. There's got to be some kind of something happening
Yeah,
at this point.
but it's getting
we're 30
close.
minutes. We're 30 minutes in to an adult erotica. If there's not any genitals, I'm disappointed. So far.
Yeah. So, then she's like, she's like, I don't know if I want to keep seeing him. But then he's like, I'm gonna fly you back to like my place in Seattle, like his mansion or whatever. And her roommate's like, do it. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And so he picks her up in the chopper, right? And then he flies her back to the mansion. And he's just like, I told you my tastes are not of your style. And then she's like, I don't know about that. And so that's when he shows her like the room, right? He like takes her to the room and he's like, anytime you feel uncomfortable, you are free to go. And she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they go to the room and she's just like, what is this stuff? And he's just like, it is my playroom. It is where I play. I told you I do not like to sleep with women. I like to do things that are not sleeping with women, but other things. Like, that's just how he talks. I'm like,
All right, crazy person.
yeah. And
I
so,
like to murder women. All right, yeah. Continue.
and so, just walks
So
around the playroom.
When
and,
are they going to start actually doing it?
I mean, the only thing leading up to the playroom thing where they do something is they make out in the elevator.
Oh my god.
Like, that was it up until the playroom. So then she's like, oh no. And then after
Like,
the playroom,
How much making out we talking? Like make out, or like doing it making out?
like, just make out for like 2 floors, and then the door opens and people walk in, and they're like, oh my god, we got caught. So
okay.
then he shows her the playroom thing after he takes her there in the chopper, and he's like, he's like, you can move in here, you can do whatever, it'd be awesome. And she's just like, I don't know. And he's like, well, how experienced are you? And she's like, I'm not experienced. And then he's just like, wait, what? You are a virgin? And she's like, yeah.
Great.
And then he's
Okay.
like, well, I will have to rectify this situation.
That's also creepy.
Yeah. And then that's when they do it. So then he like takes her to the bedroom.
Is it a
It's
sensual
a very
first
sensual
time?
first time.
Of course it is. Gross. All right.
And so they even have like the drama. Oh my god, it was the greatest camera shot. So like he puts
Do
her.
they do the butt shot?
Yeah, they do the butt
his
shot.
butt, like his weird thrusting butt
But
shot.
it's even better than that. So he puts her on the bed and he like takes off her clothes, right? And then you can see some of her pubic hair and they show the boobs. Full on boob.
I love you describing this to me. I'm not even gonna lie. This may be the best. Continue, please.
Okay, so there's a full-on boob, and then there's butts, and she's just on the bed, and they playing this music, right? And he like puts his like hand on her chest, and he just like slides it down, and when he gets to the groin region, the music is like dur, dur, dur. It like it's like a drop in the bass, like, really. And she's just like, ugh, and she just like thrusts up like, ugh. And then he's like all robotic like, and he just like takes off his clothes, and then they do the butt shot, and they show him going in, right? And then
I'm sorry, what?
They show him going in.
I'm sorry.
But I don't mean like
they show it?
No, not like
I was about to say like that
porno
is
or something.
Full on XXX right there.
Yeah, they show like him going in from back, like the butt shot.
Oh, okay, the butt shot.
Yeah,
and now we're getting good. What timestamp is this, by the way?
It's probably an hour.
My God! All right,
maybe 45 minutes.
Now, are we at like softcore levels?
Yeah, we're at softcore
right
now.
Nice.
So
okay.
Then, it shows him.
So basically, this young virgin is being banged by an old robot. Gotcha. Keep going.
No, like a young robot, like young
old robot. He's 50 years old. I don't care what they say. Not my Christian Grey. Hashtag not my Christian Grey. He is 50 years old.
Okay. So they do like a skyward back shot of him, right? And they're doing it, but like then they pan like forward, and so it sees like the paintings on the wall, and then it pans up to like a mirror on the ceiling of them doing it.
Oh, do you see his like full butt?
Yeah, you see like, the butt. You see the butt and the boobs.
That is like the like that's a shot for the ladies. That is like the butt thrust shot.
Yeah.
That is a shot like the director was like, let's give one for the ladies. This is for the ladies.
Yeah. And so then
you were very descriptive with this scene. I would have shied away from the description. You are digging in.
No, you gotta go full deets. That's what this movie's all about. So because, I mean, aside from this, there's no other deets in the movie.
I guess that's true.
So,
look, they made people wait an hour for this.
Yeah.
They made people wait a long
Everybody
time.
in the theater is just like, when are they going to do it? And then they're like, yeah, they did it. So
were you in a crowded theater?
It's funny because, like, we sat up front because it's, like, the super, like, awesome seats where nobody sits. And they got the reclining chairs. And everybody else was, like, sitting in the back. And I feel like there's, like, 8 couples in the back. And you could tell they were hoping nobody else would be there, probably. But there were.
There's just a bunch of people in the back like, baby, we're going to fool around in the movie theater if you want to. Okay, Sugar Plum.
And like,
I'm okay with it. They all get there, and then everyone sits down around. The back row is completely filled. Yeah. There's no one else there.
It legit was like completely filled in the back. It was like, whatever. I don't know why you would want to like fool around to this movie because it's like the dumbest thing I think I've seen in a while. And
okay, so after they do it. What happens?
And she's like, I'm in the bed, like we did it. And then he's gone. And she's like, where'd he go? And he's just playing the piano in his like mansion. He's just like, and he's just playing the piano. And she walks up to him. Yeah. And it's like dark, like it's nighttime. It's like 2 a.m. He's just playing the piano. And so she goes up to him and she just like derobes again and just gets on him and they do it again.
Wait, at the piano?
Well, he like picks her up and then takes her back to the bedroom. They don't show it this time. They're just like, oh yeah, they went and did it.
Hold on. Is it so good that she passes out and then she wakes up later to find him on the piano?
Yeah.
Okay, and so do we know how much time has passed?
No, I'd probably say an hour or 2.
All right, I'm just saying all of it's very weird, but okay.
So that happens, and then they go back and do it, and then she wakes up in the morning, and he's like asleep next to her, and he was like, I never sleep with women, and she's like, oh my God, he slept with me. He must love me. And so she goes, and she's all happy and like dancing, and she makes breakfast, and then his mother shows up.
What?
Yeah, his mother shows up, and she's just
Whoa, pause, hold on. He lives in the same house with his mom, and he has a like playroom?
No, she knows where he lives, but she doesn't like live there. She just visits randomly, and she's like, I came over without calling because I knew you wouldn't answer. And then she's like, oh, you have a woman here. She's like, you've never had a woman when I've seen you. And then he's like, my mother has never seen me with a woman before. And so she's like, wow.
He's a robot.
And then she's like, you can join us for dinner one day or one night this week. And she's like, that'd be great. And he's just like, yes, it would be. And so she's like, your mother seems very nice. And so he's like, so, about the agreement, you will be my submissive. And she's just like, but we slept together, did stuff. And he's like, I told you I do not sleep with women. And she's just like, but we slept together. And he's like, I know, but I do not sleep with women. And it's just like, what's going on?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like, he just keeps denying it. And
What
then...
is even happening in this movie? Okay, anyway, yeah.
Okay, so moving past that, then she goes and graduates college or whatever, and then the newspaper like gets a picture of them together, and they're like, "Oh my God, they're a couple." Like Christian Grey's found his like woman, the rich kid, and finds the girl or whatever, and then he's like,
yeah,
here's a contract for you." And she's like, a contract? And he's like, yes, the contract of you belonging to me as my submissive. And then she's like, oh my God. And she's like, I'll have to look it over. And he's like, if you do it, you'll move to Seattle and all these things. 'Cause she's in Portland. And so she keeps thinking about it. And they do the big montage of her thinking about it. And he's like at work. And then she's like exercising and being like, I don't know if I want to do this. And she like looks up pictures online like, oh my God, that's a submissive. And then he's just like sitting in his office like, have you looked over the contract? And all those things happen. And then she's like, all right, I'll move to Seattle.
What else is she going to do? She's got nothing else going on. Just do it.
She just works at a hardware store. So,
I have a feeling if I watch this movie, I'd be frustrated the entire time. Like, just do it! You have
probably
nothing else
would be.
going on in your life.
You probably would be. I mean...
I'd be just yelling at the screen like, oh my God! Why don't you just sign the contract?
Yeah. So then, she ends up going to Seattle, and then he's like, so what do you think of the contract? And she moves there, and she's like, LOL, don't like it, bye, nice meeting you, or something. Like, she just tries to get rid of him, like, from her life. But then... Cause
she's afraid.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one who's afraid of emotional attachments, not him.
But then...
Oh, and then they have to play, like, a sad song.
Then he shows up at her house. And he's like, you forgot about me. And she's like, Christian, what are you doing here? And then they do it again. But this time, he like ties her up with a tie. And he like ties her hands up with a tie. Oh, wait, that's right. He tied her hands up with a tie before the mother came over. But they had to stop because the mother came. And he was like, don't move or say anything. And then she moved. And he's like, I told you not to move. And she's like, what? But he was like super serious, like crazy person. And... so then, this time he's like, this is the tie I used, and I will use it again. And she's like, okay, and then they do it again. And then he's like, so look over the contract. She's like, okay. But then this time, she like starts really getting into the contract, and she's like, I want to have a business meeting to discuss the contract. And he's like, fine. So she goes back to Gray headquarters, and they have this like business meeting, and she tries to be all sarcastic. He's like, what are you going to wear to the business meeting? And she's like, I'll wear a potato sack or some shit. And he's just like, haha, very funny. And then she ends up wearing like a dress that's like a beige, like a potato sack. And he's just like, nice potato sack. And she's like, huh, huh. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing.
I swear to God, thank you for watching this for all of us, because I could not sit through this movie.
Yeah, so then they have this business meeting. Is it almost
over? Are we?
It's almost over.
Start doing it? Jesus.
So then they talk about the things they'll do and won't do, right? And she's like, I don't want this thing. I don't want that thing. And he's like, but I like that thing. And she's like, too bad. And then he's like, I like this business meeting. I will even give you one date a week. And she's like, wow, a date, like a movie and dinner. And he's like, yes, I shall grant you this. And it's just dumb. And then she doesn't sign the contract still. And then they end up going to dinner with his parents. And then she says something to the parents he doesn't like, and then he spanks her, and she's like, Christian, oh my God. And then he's like, this is what it would be like to be my submissive. And then he like takes her back to the playroom the one time, and I'm just fast forwarding now because it's just...
Please do.
And he like takes her to the playroom. He's just like, yeah, now we're going to do stuff. And then they do stuff, and then he tells her that his mom was a prostitute, and that his mom's friend that like took him in or something to raise him, like made him a submissive and like was abusive to him. And that's why he is the way he is, and he can't form emotional attachments. And then she's like, but why are you this way? I'm like, he just told you why he's this way, because he got abused and shit. And then she just keeps asking him that. And I'm like, are you serious? It's seriously like, she's like, but why are
Okay,
you this
so
way?
how-
And he's like,
all
because
right,
I'm abused. And she's like, but why are you this way? I'm like, because he got abused.
So how does this shit end?
So it ends with her being like, do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to hurt someone you love? And he's like, that is what I said I would do to you. And then she's like, do the worst thing you can imagine to me. And so he takes her to the playroom thing, and he like
Kills her.
And he like
The end. Thank God.
he whips her with a like a cane thingy, like one of those like stick things. And he's like, count as I hit you. And she's like, 1, 2, and she like starts crying. And he does it 6 times, and then she just like storms out of the room crying. I was like, that's it? That's the worst thing he could have done? Just hit her with a like spank her with a stick 6 times?
Okay, so then what happens?
So then she's like, I'm done seeing you. And he's like, no, wait. And then she gets into the elevator, and he runs up to the elevator. And she's like, stop. And then he's like, what? And she's like, goodbye, Christian. And he's like, goodbye. And then the elevator closes, and that's how it ends.
This whole thing is a giant waste of time.
It was a giant waste of time.
Wait, so they don't end up together in the end? She doesn't end up getting into it?
Well, apparently, in the next book, I went and looked up the cliff notes because I don't give a shit, and I just want to see how it ends. In the next book, they get back together.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
And then an abusive boss guy tries to like get with her, and then his company gets bought by Christian Grey's company, and it's just like he rescues her.
She end up getting on with the boss?
No. And then the boss tries to like kidnap them, and then the boss tries to kill them, and she gets pregnant with Christian's baby, but then she has a gun and she kills the boss. It's the stupidest storyline. It's dumb. Spoilers. You don't even need spoilers. You don't see this. Don't read it. Don't do anything. It's dumb.
We just spent so much time talking about that.
I know.
Well, I mean, I think that's a whole episode. I don't even know that we can get to actual news stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll have to do that tomorrow. We'll have to do it tomorrow because
Yeah.
we have ruined ourselves with Christian Grey.
That's the movie book. I mean, I guarantee the movie's probably better than the book, which is really sad because the movie's
Oh, you know,
awful.
people are gonna be like, the book is so good. The passion, the sexiness between the two of them, it can only be written in word.
It was just, we were like at points we would just like laugh during, because it was like such cheesy bad dialogue, and I guarantee there's like people in the back like, oh my god, who are those people up front laughing? This is a serious film,
Baby, this is the sexiest.
like legit.
Not as sexy as you, Ronaldo. That's right, baby.
Oh yeah. So yeah, terrible movie. I wouldn't see it. It's.
Look, I might have to see this now. It sounds
I feel like
awful enough to be good.
I feel like it has that. What's that movie? What's that terrible movie we saw? Divergent.
Divergent?
It's like a sexual Divergent. It's like.
Did you hear? Oh my god, did you hear that the new Tomb Raider series of movies is being written by the Divergent guy?
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
Movies?
Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
It's
You have no clue.
But it's like that same style. It's like it's so bad, yet it's bad enough where you're just like, well, now I want to know what happens. But like I don't.
Yeah, I feel like having looked at it and seen the trailers and things,
Yeah.
it is like the soft, like somewhere there are real people into bondage who are like, that is not at all what we do.
Yeah. But apparently in the book too, they like don't use safe words and he's abusive, but in the movie he like keeps referencing like there's safe words and you'll be okay and you can stop whenever. So like that they obviously added that in.
I feel like if this was a movie where he was like an old balding fat man,
Yeah.
this wouldn't be nearly as sexy.
Yeah.
The only reason why it's sexy because it's like some young hot stud, but like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's not the case for most people.
Yeah. I would have to.
He's a billionaire playboy. He's Batman, basically. It's like if Batman came up to you and was like, I'm into some crazy shit, let's do it. You'd be like, all right, sure thing, Batman, because you're Batman.
Yeah, he's Batman.
You're Bruce Wayne, man, of course. Yeah, that's what he's got going for him.
Yeah,
Christian Grey. If Christian Grey was like Christian White and he was an old, droopy-faced, balding 80-year-old.
Christian Maroon. Christian Maroon 5.
I like to spank the girls. That'd be creepy. That'd be creepy.
Yeah, that's like, oh, God. Please stop.
Yeah, I'd be like, please, sir, you're creeping me out.
I have
Don't you wanna...
for playing around it.
You're going to have to help me into the harness.
I'm hungry.
Will you feed me baby food?
I don't have my glasses. What happened
I like
in the
our book.
stock market?
We should write a book about where an 80-year-old guy goes after a college girl, and she's just like, no, leave me alone. And she ends up with the guy who works at the same place as her because that's normal and not at all weird that she would end up like, I'm going to go hang out with this older man who is a billionaire.
We have
That's
so
the
many great
freaky
book
thing.
ideas.
We do. That'd be a great book. 50 Shades of Pale. And it's just like, I'm old.
Oh my
That's
God.
the quote on the front.
50 Shades of Pale. Oh
50
yeah.
Shades of Pale.
At the end
It's
of the
like,
movie,
I'm old.
after she's like crying or whatever, he's like looking out the window and he's just like, I guess I'm 50 shades of effed up. And I was like, that is the stupidest line I think I've ever heard. So yeah,
I just can't even.
I give it 14 shades out of 50.
There you go. That's the movie review.
That's the Crendor review.
All right, well, that's it for this podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another real one. And as always, to be continued.